You better wave goodbye to those hopes and dreams, because my sharks are gonna eat them alive. Welcome to the XYZ Cup, folks, and the Ghost of Knife, and welcome back to more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and welcome to my video on the XYZ Cup. I know, fun story. The event's been gone for a little bit, you're saying. I'm aware, but during the event, if you aren't aware of my post that I made, I got COVID, and I was out of commission for an entire week. Most of the event of the XYZ Cup, I was just sick, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't edit, I couldn't record, I was just out of my mind. The very last day or two of the XYZ Cup is when I got these games recorded for you, and when I could actually play the event. And since then, I've been scrambling to get my bills paid and get groceries since I missed an entire week's worth of a paycheck because of COVID. And that is why I'm getting to this so late. So I apologize for getting to y'all so late, but hey, it's here now, and you can see what I was playing during the XYZ Cup, which was, as you can very obviously see, the Shark deck. If you haven't seen this deck before, it is a water attribute-focused XYZ deck that features a bunch of level 4 monsters, or level 3 in some other decks, that are really good at special summoning themselves, so that way you can XYZ summon some really powerful monsters and just try to dominate the game with powerful board control. It's a very fun deck that I've played in the past that in my opinion did very well for the event. So without further ado, let's see exactly what happened from my experience of the XYZ Cup. Right, getting into our opening hand, our opponent has opted to go second. I'm not quite sure why, but we have a pretty decent hand here. Buzzsaw Shark's pretty good. We're gonna use Fool's Burial Goods, try to scout out an Ash Blossom. No Ash, so we're gonna go ahead and dump the Ice Barrier. We're gonna play the Buzzsaw Shark. We're gonna chain it with Midnight Ruka in case they try to Ash Blossom. I don't think they did it this time, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get off both of my summons. Buzzsaw Shark's gonna summon Lifeless Leaf Fish. We're gonna use Ice Barrier to ditch the Crystal Shark. And we're gonna put it back in our hand. We're gonna use Crystal Shark's ability to special summon itself with Midnight Ruka. We're going to use Buzzsaw and Lifeless Leaf Fish to summon Bahamut Shark. And from here, we're going to go into our XYZ Armored line. This is a very powerful line that gives us access to a very big creature that's hard to deal with, that allows us to scoop up one of our opponent's monsters as materials. A very powerful line that I've used quite a few times in the past. Bahamut Shark is a great enabler of this. We're going to go ahead and set the card that we get off the XYZ Armored Fortress, which is our full armored XYZ, which gives us access to our big Lancer during our opponent's draw, so that way we can go ahead and scoop up their cards. And because I don't want the materials to go to waste, I go ahead and grab Honor Shark, or a Silent Honor Arc, because I admittedly forgot Crystal Shark can only be used to XYZ summon number monsters. It's fine though, we have a pretty decent monster in case they try to like Lightning Storm us. We defend our life points. Our opponent is going to go ahead and activate the Photon Sanctuary. And a bit of a spoiler for this video, I played like 9 games against Galaxy. A lot of my games were against Galaxy, so I was very confused afterwards when I went online and I saw everyone was playing like against Stun and stuff, because I was like, that's not what I played. I just played a boatload of Galaxy. Anyways, they're going to activate their Photon Sanctuary. I'm going to activate full armored XYZ to go ahead and turn the Armor Fortress into the Dark Knight Lancer, probably the most notorious card in this deck. Very powerful, very strong monster. They're going to go ahead and get their tokens. They're going to use both of their tokens to summon the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. I'm going to activate full armored XYZ to try and attach the Armor Torpedo to my Dark Knight Lancer to activate Dark Knight Lancer's effect, give it a little bit of protection. They're going to go ahead and make their Photon Dragon bigger with their card. I'm going to scoop it up, and my opponent's going to go, well, I needed that, so GG. Alright, getting into our next game here with a bit of a weird hand. Called by Effect Veiler is not terrible. I'm going to go ahead and use Buzzsaw Shark's effect. They're going to Ash Blossom me, because of course they do. But forget you, I've got Called by the Grave. No Ash Blossom today! They're going to try to Ash Blossom Buzzsaw Shark to stop my special summon. I'm going to go ahead and use Called by the Grave to stop their nonsense. So I can go ahead and use my Buzzsaw Shark's effect to go ahead and grab another Lifeless Leaf Fish, which I probably shouldn't grab, but whatever, I did. Here we are. We're going to go into Bahamut Shark here. And because they can't Ash Blossom me, I'm just going to go ahead and go into the XYZ Armored line that we did last game. Torpedo into the Armor Fortress, which is going to net us the Trap. which allows us to make a big monster and then scoop up one of their cards on my opponent's turn. I've got an effect failure. On top of this, I'm going to go ahead and activate Full Armored XYZ. During their draw phase, they're going to maxi me immediately, which I feel like is a really weird line. I mean, you trade maxi for a new card? I guess? Whatever. My opponent is going to activate the Galaxy Wizard as their normal summon. They're going to special summon Photon Vanisher. And yes, we're playing yet another Galaxy deck. And here I'm going to be really careful. I've got to try to figure out exactly when I need to interact with my opponent. My opponent is going to use both of their monsters to XYZ summon Starlight Photon Blast Dragon to special summon a monster. I'm going to go ahead and effect Veiler this, because I do not want them having their special summon off. Also, this prevents me from targeting their big monsters with effects, so because it's effect failure, I can now target their cards with effects. They're going to go ahead and grab the Galaxy Soldier with a special summon. We're going to go to battle phase, and we're going to just end the turn from there. I'm going to use Full Armored XYZ from here to just scoop up their Galaxy Soldier. So I just have a nice big monster my opponent can't deal with. Go ahead and summon the Lifeless Leaf Fish, which lets us dump the Crystal Shark, which Crystal Shark is then going to use its effect to bring itself back. We're going to use Crystal Shark and Lifeless Leaf Fish to special summon the Silent Honor Arc, which, hey, guess what? You got a special summon monster. I'm going to go ahead and scoop it up onto my Silent Honor Arc. And then we're just going to go in for combat. My opponent has no combat tricks, so this is going to be a nice, fast, and effective way of showing you the insane things you can do with sharks. Alright folks, my opponent is opted to go first this time, so we're going to see what my opponent has got going on their side of the board. My opponent Excuse me? You want a wave motion cannon? An old school Yu-Gi-Oh player? Who do you think you are, Alex? That's my card. Nobody but me can use that. Who do you... Oh, and we're going to set 2 and pass? Okay. I see you, Alex. I see you. I'm coming for you. And we do draw the XYZ Remora, which actually allows us to do some really sneaky extensions that I haven't gotten to showcase with sharks before. So let's go ahead and showcase what this deck can do. We're going to go ahead and use the 10 Yi Spirit to special summon itself. We're going to go ahead and play the Buzzsaw Shark. My opponent is going to Imperm Buzzsaw Shark. I believe they're just doing this so they can try to stop our ways of extending, which I think is a really weird and kind of bad line, because I've already got another level 4 monster, so I can just go ahead and summon what I want to off of this. So they're going to negate my Buzzsaw Shark. We don't care. We're going to go into Bahamut Shark. Now, typically from here, I'd go ahead and use Bahamut Shark and get the XYZ armor cards going. But because I have XYZ Remora, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to use the Abyss Shark to special summon itself, which draws us into another XYZ Remora, so we can showcase one of the best ways of extending. We're going to first use XYZ Remora's effect from the hand. We're going to discard both materials off of Bahamut Shark to special summon the XYZ Remora. The main reason we're doing this is because we want to fill our graveyard with cards. We're going to go ahead and go into Silent Honor Arc. We're going to get rid of all the materials off of Silent Honor Arc and special summon XYZ Remora. When it's special summoned this way, we can take 2 level 4 fish monsters from our graveyard and special summon them into defense position, which means we can extend and get another XYZ monster. So we use 2 Remora's effects to go straight into our Stealth Kraken, which is just a very, very powerful monster. We're going to trade up our Silent Honor Arc into the XYZ Armor Fortress. I probably should have put this XYZ Remora in attack mode, but who cares? I'm going to go ahead and grab the spell card this time because I have the ability to try to win from this position. I'm going to go ahead and use the Armored XYZ card, attaching Silent Honor Arc to our Dark Knight Lancer. We're going to re-add back our Armored XYZ card. We're going to attack. We're going to use our spell card to let us attack again with our Dark Knight Lancer. They're going to play Inferno Tempest. When they take 3,000 or more battle from one attack, you can activate this to remove all monsters in each player's deck and graveyard from play. So they banished all of our monsters. And they're gonna continue to banish. Okay, well, I'm just gonna swing. I don't know what you're doing with that Inferno Tempest, and I can't find out because I can't look at your deck list, but that is how you OTK with sharks. Alright, folks, getting into our next game here. What else could be going on in the XYZ Cup? Maybe we have a really fun deck, like, I don't know, Gimmick Puppets maybe? We're going to go ahead and use the 10E Spirit, and my opponent is going to Dimension Shifter, which is brutal, because I do need my graveyard for my Crystal Shark, so I can't really go into the lines that I want to because of this card. It's okay, I've dealt with Dimension Shifter before. We're just going to summon the 10E Spirit. We're going to summon Crystal Shark. And because of Crystal Shark, I have to get a numbered XYZ monster. So I'm like, forget it. We're just going to go into Stealth Dragon. Stealth Dragon's a great card. It allows us to control our opponent. And my opponent is going to immediately imperm the Stealth Dragon. Okay. My opponent sets a card and plays Golden Sarcophagus. Alright, what are they going to grab? That. Oh boy, the XYZ deck that locks me out of my zones and steals cards from my extra deck that can special summon in 13 different monsters and has 13 different one-card starters. What an awesome experience that this deck wasn't banned from the event. Whatever, who cares? Maybe they have a one-card starter that gets them to a broken card that shuts me out of the game. Who cares? I still can win this. They can't have that much interaction that allows them to just get to their one-card starter. So because I drew into, you know, Gozen Match, which is not a shark, I'm going to go ahead and set these Shadana because I just don't know what my opponent's up to. I'm going to go ahead and get some damage in with Stealth Kraken to try and do something to my opponent before they get their one-card starter off. And they're going to pass to my turn. I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. We draw into our Abyss Shark, which is pretty powerful. Abyss Shark allows us to get into a big XYZ line that will hopefully allow me to stop my opponent dead in their tracks. I'm going to flip summon the 10E. You've got to be kidding me. Imperm, Dimension Shifter, Golden Sark, Max C. So now I'm at another choke point. If I don't Ash Blossom this, they can draw 1,000,000 cards off of all of my XYZ summons. Because, you know, the entire point of this event is to special summon monsters from your extra deck. Why wasn't Maxi banned? Who knows? I hate this roach. So because I have to either answer this or give my opponent 1,000,000 cards, I'm like, cool, I'll Ash Blossom this. They cannot have any more interaction. I should be able to FTK, so it doesn't matter. We're going to Ash Blossom the stupid roach. I'm going to go into Abyss Shark. You have to be kidding me. Shifter, Maxi, Ash Blossom, Infinite Impermanence, and the Golden Sark, which is just going to give them a one-card combo. 4 cards I have to interact with just to play the damn game. Okay, cool, yeah. I'm glad that this deck allows them to play, have 4 different interaction points and be completely unpunished for it because they have a one-card starter that gets them to a Rise Heart, which is, you know, a fair and balanced card. Whatever, who cares? I'm going to go ahead and attack with the Stealth Kraken and attack with the 10E Spirit. I can still destroy their Unicorn as it comes out with Stealth Kraken, so they can't get their one-card combo off. They're going to go ahead and grab their stupid Sarcophagus card, cast here Unicorn. They're going to special summon the Unicorn. They can't activate its effects. I'm going to go ahead and activate Stealth Kraken, and I'm just going to stop this nonsense, and you have to be kidding me. So my opponent gets to play a deck that has a one-card starter that gets them to one of the most broken cards in the game that has been banned in the TCG, and I'm pretty sure in the OCG too. And because of their one-card starter, they get 5 points of I have to interact at, or to interact with me at. Yeah, what a fair and balanced deck. I'm so glad Kashtira was not banned from this event. Yeah. 5 points of interaction with a one-card starter that gets into a Rise Heart. You know, very balanced idea. We shouldn't have banned any of that. Alright, we are going first because I won the coin flip. Thank goodness. This, though, is a very, very weird hand. We're going to go ahead and play the XYZ Remora. We're going to summon the Abyss Shark. We're grabbing a Silent Angler, which I'm going to use to extend a little bit further. I'm going to use Silent Angler in the Remora to go into Bahamut Shark. And from here, Bahamut's going to do what it typically does, being one of my favorite cards in the deck, into the Torpedo, into the Armor Fortress, which grabs us the spell because I already have the trap in hand. We're going to go ahead and set the trap, and then we're just going to pass. I have not a lot of ways to interact with my opponent on their turn, but on my turn I do have something I can do in the Feather Duster. We're going to go ahead and XYZ up into the Dark Night Lancer during their draw phase. My opponent summons... I'm sorry, what the hell is that? Ignis Heat, the True Draco Warrior. They tributed a continuous spell or trap they control to summon it, and when your opponent activates their card effect, you can add True Draco or True King continuous. What the hell? They're trying to destroy my monster. I'm going to use Full Armored XYZ to protect my monster. They're going to go ahead and grab one of their continuous spells. Okay. I have never seen True Draco. I don't know what we're getting ourselves into, but I'm going to go ahead and protect my Dark Knight Lancer. It's going to be destroyed, but because I did add a card to it as an equip spell, I'm going to go ahead and take their monster, just scoop it up under my monster. They're going to summon another one of these Ignis Heats. They're going to activate True Draco Heritage? You can draw cards equal to the number of True Draco and True King cards, monster spell, and traps sent from the field to the graveyard this turn. During your main phase, immediately after this effect falls, they can tribute summon a monster? Oh, okay. They attack into my shark, they set 3, and pass. So my opponent is on some sort of, like, tribute monarch kind of deck, but you can use your spells and traps. Have not seen True Draco, so I have no clue what the hell my opponent's up to. I'm going to go ahead and Harpy's Feather Duster to get rid of all of their back row, because I just don't want to deal with it. They're going to try to add a card, and I don't know what my opponent's doing, so we're just going to go and Ash Blossom this. I've got no real reason not to. We're just going to get rid of all that crap back there. Bye-bye. And, oh. Apparently, we destroyed True King's Return, which lets them get rid of our big monster. It's okay though. I'm going to use the Armored XYZ to go ahead and equip the Torpedo to Bahamut Shark. The main reason I'm doing this is so I can give Bahamut Shark a little bit of protection. I could have attacked again with the Armored Torpedo, and I probably should have, but I was just like, I don't know what's going on with my opponent. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Zeus. I did waste the Armored Torpedo. I could have used it for a second attack and then gotten in for more damage, but hey, we're here now. My opponent has 2 cards in hand. They're going to set 1 card. What do I draw? We're going to draw a Foolish Burial Goods, which is not terrible in this situation. Let's just ditch the Ice Barrier, which we're going to use Ice Barrier's effect to put a Crystal Shark into the graveyard. We're going to put XYZ Remora back into our hand from the graveyard with the Ice Barrier, which lets us summon the Crystal Shark, which lets us XYZ summon into the Stealth Kraken, which is just a really powerful card. Lets us turn our Zeus into a water monster, which makes it a little bit easier. We're going to get rid of Amano Iwato, do another 3,000 points of damage. Honestly, I don't know what this True Draco deck is. It looks cool, kind of like Monarchs, both like spells and traps, which I do like. We're gonna go ahead and use Stealth Kraken's effect to destroy this True Draco fighter. I don't want to deal with this. They're going to play their True King's Return. Stealth Kraken's going to get rid of their monster, deal some damage to them. They're going to special summon the Ignis Heat again. And from this position, I'm like, alright, cool. I'm just going to get rid of it with Stealth Kraken. It doesn't seem like there's much my opponent can do. I'm going to special summon the Abyss Shark, which grabs me the Leaf Fish, which we're going to use to ditch Midnight Ruka. And from here, I'm just going to attack with Zeus, and my opponent does have one more trick up their sleeves. We're going to get rid of their True Draco fighter. We're going to attack with Lifeless Leaf Fish, attack with Abyss Shark for game. I will say, this game definitely got me really interested in whatever the hell True Draco is. I just don't know if it's any good. Folks, this is going to be the last game that I played in the XYZ Cup. Hopefully we can end on a high note against something interesting. We're going to summon these 10E Spirit. I'm doing this in case they Ash Blossom Buzzsaw Shark, so that way I have another level 4 monster. My opponent does just give it to me, though. We're going to use the Buzzsaw Shark and the Lifeless Leaf Fish So go into the Bahamut chart. We've seen this line. We don't need to see it all play out again. Bahamut, Torpedo, Fortress, Trap. And that's going to be my turn. So this doesn't look like a crazy end board, but it's actually not that bad because I have Tangy Spirit down originally just in case they decided to Ash Blossom Buzzsaw Shark so that way I can go into Bahamut Shark. Does not matter because now if they Lightning Storm me, I have something to defend my life points, and I have Ash Blossom and a Scoop because of my Dark Knight Lancer and the trap that I'm putting in the graveyard as we speak. Dark Knight Lancer is back, MVP of the deck, let's not lie. My opponent is going to activate Elixir of Black Awakening. You know, I heard there's a lot of people playing stun decks or like grind decks in the event, and it wasn't until the very end that I actually saw this come to life because my opponent is playing Eldritch. I'm just gonna Ash Blossom this nonsense. I know how your deck works. Once Eldritch comes into play, it's all sorts of hard to deal with. So we're just gonna Ash Blossom this, get that nonsense out of here. My opponent is going to set 3 face-down cards and a face-down monster. And during their end turn, I'm going to do something really fun here. We're going to use our trap to go ahead and equip the Dark Knight Lancer with the Armor Torpedo. Fun fact, Dark Knight Lancer, once it becomes equipped, it attaches any monster your opponent controls to itself as material. This does not need to be face up, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to scoop up their card. Hey, look, it's a Necrofold Banshee. Now, I know it looks like I've got game on board, but as you saw, we're playing Eldritch. So one of these has to be a trap monster. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and play my cards carefully. I'm going to go ahead and summon the Midnight Ruka. I'm going to attack with Bahamut cards. We're going to summon their Conquistador and Huaquero. I'm going to attack into Huaquero because it's easier to deal with. I do make a bit of a misclick. I know this looked weird. Why did I attack with Midnight Ruka? I was trying to activate its effects. But I'm dumb, and I attacked with Midnight Ruka and did damage to myself. That's what happened there. Now, let's correct this mistake. Go to our main phase 2, use Midnight Ruka's effect, banish itself to negate the Conquistador. And fun fact, when you negate a trap monster's effect, it just goes back to the trap zone as a face-up trap that can't do a darn thing. So you know what? Get that nonsense out of here. We're going to turn our Bahamut Shark into Zeus. This is the king of the grind game. We're going to set our Ice Barrier and pass to our opponent, who is going to try to activate their Elixir to grab their Guardian of the Golden Throne and set another face-down card. They're going to use Huaquero to set this Elixir of White Destiny instead of the Scarlet Sanguine, which is a bit weird, but whatever. Now, we're going to make a bit of an oopsie here, and we're going to activate Zeus. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ghost, why would you do that? Simple. I thought Zeus destroyed all other cards as part of its quick effect. I did not read that it sends all other cards to the graveyard. So in my mind, I can activate Zeus, and I can still keep my Dark Knight Lancer, and then just use my trap to go for game. Because it won't be destroyed. But my opponent's going to activate Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine just to get an Eldritch into rotation, which is not a bad play. But we're going to go ahead and send all the other cards, including my my Dark Knight Lancer, because it's not destroyed, it's sent. And I'm like, it's okay. I think I can still win from here, so I'm going to go ahead and activate the Ice Barrier that we destroyed with Zeus to put Crystal Shark into the graveyard, put Buzzsaw Shark back into our hand. We're going to special summon, we're going to normal summon the Buzzsaw Shark, excuse me. They're going to use Necrofold Banshee to turn all of our stuff into zombies. We do not care. We're going to use Buzzsaw to grab the Lifeless Leaf Fish. We're going to use Crystal Shark's effect to bring itself back. And now, we get to do something really interesting, because the nice little hidden part of Buzzsaw Shark is that it can be treated as a level 5 monster for an XYZ summon of a water monster. And I already have a level 5 water monster on the board, meaning we can go into Nash Knight, which I know looks weird, but guess what? Nash Knight can rank up into Dark Knight Lancer because I run 2 of them. We're going to Armored XYZ, grab our Armor Torpedo back into our Dark Knight Lancer. Our opponent sees the writing on the wall. We've got 2 attacks with the Lancer and an attack with Zeus. This game is over, and Eldritch packs their bags and goes right back to the Golden Land. And that, folks, is going to cover it for my experience during the XYZ Cup. As I said in the beginning of the replays, I played a lot of Galaxy, and a lot of my games either went, I get rid of one of your cards and you scoop, or you OTK me, which doesn't make for great content, so we did not get in all 9 or so games against Galaxy I played. But even though I played a bunch of Galaxy, I still had a lot of fun during the event. I played some pretty wacky opponents, which was a treat to enjoy, especially because I heard that everyone else was playing a boatload of stun. I did play a little bit of Cached Hero, which was frustrating, but as you can see, I played some really wacky decks, which definitely made the experience a lot more interesting and entertaining. And on top of that, I got to play Sharks, which is a deck that I really enjoy, and I'm really glad I got to get more practice with, because I'm slowly getting more confident in my abilities with this deck, but I actually want to try ladder climbing with this in the future. With all that said, I lament that I couldn't play more decks during the event, but hey, I got sick, and you gotta play with the cards you're dealt. With all of that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I could entertain you with some of my more wacky games for the event, and I hope you're all ready for even more Yu-Gi-Oh content, because now that I'm feeling better, I'm going to start recording more, and I'm going to start pushing out content for y'all. So thank you for tuning in. I've been the Ghost with Knife, folks. I'll see you next time. Now do me a big favor and